Hey, this is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. So for this week's reading, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. All right, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And we're just doing this to get some ideas, to get some insights into how we can make the most of the week ahead. And I want to let you know that I'm going to be going live on my YouTube channel on December 21st. It's the winter solstice. And I'm going to be doing a tarot reading, a Christmas tarot reading party. So I'll be doing free 1-card readings for anyone who would like one. So come hang out with me. I'll put the link just below this video if you want to check it out. And I always have a lot of fun doing my live reading events, so be sure to stop on by and check it out. Okay, the first card is for the beginning of the week. And I've got to say, I think this is like the 3rd or maybe even the 4th week in a row that we've started with a major arcana card. So it's kind of cool. And here we're starting with number 1, the Magician. So the Magician is a fascinating card, and I kind of want to go deeply into this card today. Okay, so a couple of themes here. First of all, the Magician is a card of manifestation. And when the Magician shows up in a reading, it's to remind you that we are all little magicians. We all have this ability to manifest things, to create things, to make magic happen in our own lives. And some of us are already really good at doing this, and some of us are learning and figuring things out. But the Magician is here to remind you that you have a lot of power at your fingertips, but if you don't know how to use that power, you may never know that you have that power. So the Magician is kind of saying, yes, you're very powerful, but you need to learn how to harness that power, how to direct it, how to make things happen. So Magician is encouraging you to see yourself as this, see yourself as the Magician. You're like the Magician in your own life. So what is it that you are creating? And if you had the power of magic, just a hypothetical question, if you had a magic wand and you could create anything you wanted, what kinds of things would you create? If you had a magic wand and you could wave it over your whole life and transform it, what things would you shift? What things would you change? It's an interesting question to ask yourself, especially as we get to the end of the year and the new year is coming, and we're sort of thinking maybe about, what do we want to put our energy into in the new year? What do we want to change? What do we want to create? What kind of experiences do we want to have? It's important, I think, to see yourself as being like this Magician. Okay, now, another thing I want to say about this card is if you look at the energy in this card, it's coming out of his hands, but it's also kind of going, it's almost like this figure is channeling this energy. He isn't necessarily generating it himself. He's like, the energy is coming through him. He's just directing it into a pattern. And that's another interesting idea, I think, this idea that we have access to unlimited energy, but we're the ones who kind of direct it, if that makes sense. Okay, another thing I want to say about the Magician is, and this aspect of him that I'm going to talk about isn't really obvious in this particular card, but I want to talk about it nonetheless. So the Magician, his dark side is that he's a trickster. And so the Magician can represent people who use sort of sleight of hand tricks and create illusions for you to buy into. It makes me think of like cult leaders or even just kind of slimy salespeople, that are really good at kind of crafting this illusion to seduce you and have you buy in. And it's all kind of a ruse. It's all just an illusion. So the dark side of the magician is to kind of warn you, or not warn you, but remind you that there's many illusions out there, and to recognize when something is an illusion, to just have your radar up. Okay, let's have a look here at the middle of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday-ish, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we started with the Magician, which is number 1 in the major arcana, and now we have another number 1, the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles shows a seed that's, has roots, and the seed is about to be planted. And the aces are all about fresh starts, but this particular ace is really about planting a seed. So this could be about taking the first step towards something, taking one small action towards something. And that one small action may seem insignificant in the moment, but it's like planting a seed. It takes time for that seed to take root, to grow into something. So the message, I think, of the Ace of Pentacles, and I think this message goes nicely with the message of the Magician, which was that, we're all very creative. We all have this ability to create things and to direct our energy. And the Ace of Pentacles is saying even the small steps can be major. So even just planting a seed, even taking, just beginning something and just starting with one small action, one small step can actually be quite powerful. So Ace of Pentacles, there's this newness with this card. It's saying there's something new that you want to plant. There's some idea, there's something that you're wanting to pursue. There's some seed that you're wanting to plant. And even just taking a small step in this direction can be powerful right now. 3 of Wands is the card we have for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish, we have 3 of Wands. And there's something kind of fun and loosey-goosey about this card. We see this girl, she's got her surfboard, there's the torches. The ocean looks relatively calm. There's a few waves. It looks like it's at nighttime. It's really beautiful. Beautiful purple hues here. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 of Wands and what this card could possibly mean for us. So what's interesting is the 3 of Wands is also kind of a card of manifestation, but this is more about kind of what happens once you've put your energy into something, then that energy comes back to you. And so the 3 of Wands is about looking out and kind of seeing the results of the effort and the energy that you've been putting into something. And when you do this, and right now you can kind of look around at things and think, okay, a lot of the stuff that I have, a lot of the things are kind of a result of some of the efforts I've been making, the energy I've been putting into things. And looking around and deciding, do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? Am I happy with how things are? Do I need to change something? Is this working out or isn't it? So that's kind of what I get with the 3 of Wands. In a way, it is a card of contemplation and observation. It's not really a card of taking action, whereas I see like the Magician in some ways is a card of like taking action and figuring out how you're going to direct your energy, and what you're going to focus on. Ace of Pentacles is more about nurturing, like we see the cupped hands. It's about like nurturing your dreams or projects or whatever you're putting your time into, really bringing that nurturing energy to that. And then the 3 of Wands is about kind of just stepping back and observing and noticing what's going on, noticing what's happening, and only then can you decide if you want to change course, if you want to do things differently. But you first have to kind of stop and assess the scene. So that's what I get with the Three of Wands. This is about just observing, stopping, assessing the scene. Okay, so that was really quick. Let's just look at all three of these cards and see if there's anything else. I love how like the first two cards is really emphasizing the power of the hands, and the hands are kind of like these creative, kind of a creative symbol in a way. So I think that's kind of interesting. And Three of Wands is kind of a different energy in some ways. I'm just going to look again at all three and see if there's anything else that stands out. I think I've said everything though, so I want to turn it over to you and let me know in the comments. Is there anything that you're noticing here that I might have missed? Or do you have a completely different take on these cards? Feel free to share in the comments below. And I guess, let me just look at my calendar here. Yes, I guess we're approaching Christmas. So this card will be for like kind of Christmas Eve, the lead up to the holidays, or the lead up to Christmas Day. And I guess I should have said some more like Christmassy themed things with these cards, but honestly, it didn't occur to me. Okay, maybe in next week's reading I will. Definitely Three of Wands. To me, the Three of Wands almost feels like relaxation, like just, you know, give yourself time to kind of contemplate. I know that's hard, like on the weekend of the holidays. Usually we're kind of busy doing stuff, but Three of Wands is encouraging you to make time to just observe. Just sit back and observe. Yeah. Okay. So that has been your weekly tarot card reading. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And I'll be back next week. Okay. Bye-bye.